Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. First of all, we've made a signing. Yes, a January signing. It's Cohen Bramall. We spoke about him last week. 20 years of age from Hedensford Town. An absolutely amazing story. Left back by trade. Officially signed for Arsenal yesterday. And just, amazing story, as I said. Went to Arsenal on a trial for a day, the day after losing his job at the car factory Bentley. His career and future up in the air, goes for a trial at Arsenal from Hedensford Town, really impresses, and now he's been signs for Arsenal. Fantastic story. It's going to initially start off with the under-23s team, but Arsene Wenger's making big sounds that this guy, with his strength, with his speed, could be somebody who could make his way to the first team very quickly. So very positive for him. Let's see if he turns out to be a great signing. Listen, I know we'll look on these sort of signings sometimes and say to ourselves, Cohen Bramall, we should be getting this and that. But as somebody pointed out last week, when, Dele Alli was signed, by Tottenham, you would never have thought that he was going to achieve what he's achieved there so far and, burst into the England team, etc. So, listen, it's a great story. Players develop at different stages, and let's hope that this guy, Cohen Bramall, will be a fantastic signing for Arsenal. Now, Arsenal also being linked with other left-backs, including this guy from Schalke, goes by the name of Sead Kolašinac. He's 23 years of age from Schalke, as I said. He's also a left-back, a Bosnian international, played for Bosnia over 70 times. Now, Tutor Mercato Web, not always the most reliable of sources, but they claim that Arsenal want to sign him. His contract is up in 2017, so he's going to be free to talk to clubs right about now. And he's a very well thought of left back. Juventus apparently also very interested in him. So we'll have to wait and see what happens to that. Seems to be getting linked with a lot of left backs at the moment. We do currently have two left backs at the club in Monreal and Gibbs. Monreal's been having a bit of a checkered season. Gibbs, there's always been the rumours that he may go, but I don't think you'll see any of them going anywhere until the summer. So, I'd be very surprised if Arsenal was to bring in a left back at this stage, but we're being linked with this guy today. Also being linked with a couple of PSG players. Now, the first one is Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura, 24 years of age, excellent player, really, really quick. Played well against us when Paris Saint-Germain played against us in the early stages of the Champions League. He joined them in 2012 for £38 million from Sao Paulo. Tutor Mercato Web again, yes, them again. Claiming that Arsenal have made inquiries about him as his availability. But again, I can't see this one happening. Cup tied in the Champions League, still in the Champions League. Remember, Lucas Moura, he's been playing quite a lot for them this season as well. So I'm even surprised that he's being linked with a move away, but he is being linked with a move away. As is another one of their players, this guy, another guy that's been linked with Arsenal for a long time, only joined PSG in the summer, and that's Krychowiak. As I said, he only signed this year to PSG. They bought him from Sevilla for £28.6 million. And now there's rumours, and these are very strong rumours, that PSG are willing to let him go out on loan. The manager has said, even sort of suggested, that they're not against him going out on loan. He's a very good player. As a lot of people suggested that we should have bought him in the summer. Linked now with Arsenal. Again, I'd be very surprised at this, even on loan, because we already have so many holding midfielders. Coquelin, Granit Xhaka we bought for, big investment, 30 odd million pounds. I think the boat has passed now for Krychowiak, but he's still being linked with Arsenal today. Wojciech Szczesny, who of course is Arsenal's goalkeeper, out on loan at the moment at Roma. The rumours coming in today is that Roma would like to turn that loan move into a permanent deal. Arsenal, of course, have got Petr Cech. They've got, excellent backup in David Ospina. Even Martinez, the third choice, is good. Even Matt Macy, another guy. You know, they're really flush with goalkeepers at the moment. So it looks like Szczesny could end up staying over in Roma permanently. John Torrell, spoke about him, midfield player, has been on loan at Granada from Arsenal this season. Last year he was at Birmingham. It's almost certain that he's going to be joining Glasgow Rangers. That even could happen today. And also Per Mertesacker, there's rumours that he might go out on loan. Quite a few clubs interested in him. Arsenal looking to get him some game time. You know, he's been out injured now for quite a while, and then recently was sort of on his way back. Was hoped that he'd be back for the start of January. He's had a setback in training, calf injury, I understand it is, and so he's out again. And possibly he could be going on loan till the end of the season. And finally, breaking news. Oxlade-Chamberlain, right? The news emerged yesterday. I know this is not transfer news. The news emerged yesterday that Oxlade-Chamberlain is dating Little Mix star Pierre Edwards. I thought I'd drop that in there. I thought you'd be interested in that. Listen, let's get into what you guys had to say yesterday. Rude Boy says, I think with the injuries to Cazorla and to Coquelin and El Neni off to Africa, we're light in that area. I think we should try and get Andre Bertolacci from AC Milan. He's good, experience, still got years left ahead of him. Plus, a little competition for places brings out the best out of our players when they're back fit. Lewis says, you can't hold on to Arsene Wenger forever. He said, even if he stays for another 3 years, he'll eventually leave. And whilst that's going on, other teams are constantly improving. 3 years might be too late for him to leave. Alan Valencia says we should sell Ramsey and get Payet. We need Wilshere back now. Him, Payet and Ozil would be the best midfield in the league, Robbie. And interestingly, of course, yesterday I was talking about this whole thing with Wilshere. Van Sang says Wilshere needs to stay there a bit longer to prove himself that he can play there every weekend. And if he does a whole fit season, then bring him back. If not, sell him. That's obviously what Arsenal are looking to do. Spoke about this yesterday. I was saying that for me, why don't we bring Wilshere back? I've done a bit of research and managed to sort of really dig deep into this because, you know, with Arsenal contracts, nobody really knows what's going on. But what I do understand now is that because the loan fee was so high, there is no recall clause in that contract. There, I think, then, was a big mistake by Arsenal. Look at the difference between what they've done and what Chelsea have done with Nathan Ake. They've got in there a recall clause. And speaking to a football agent, he said to me that most times, 95% of the times, when a player goes on loan for the season, there's a recall clause in it. It's just always written in, but most teams don't activate it just out of a goodwill gesture. But it's normally in there. But we didn't put one in there for Jack Wilshere. And now we could desperately do with Jack Wilshere. We are lacking creativity in the middle of the park. That deep line position that Santi plays, you know, it would have been perfect for Wilshere to come, you know, bring him back. He's had a lot of games, I feel, at Bournemouth. Bring him back. He could have played the rest of the season at Arsenal, but can't because, you know, he's a Bournemouth player for the rest of the season. So we're going to have to soldier on with what we got, or maybe go and buy somebody. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Thanks for watching the show, and we'll be back around about the same time tomorrow.